Last question of the day is from @junction_ENT, who says Bayley would thrive and be the star she's supposed to be if she left WWE and joined AEW. Very interesting take, and one I want to get your thoughts on, Archie.
Here's the thing: a couple of months ago, if you asked me this, I would have said, yeah, I think Bayley should join AEW. I think that kind of reunion with Mercedes Moné or Sasha Banks would be extremely fun to see, and it would maybe add another element, a fresh element to their long-standing rivalry. But recently, I've been very interested in what Bayley's doing in WWE with this kind of not split personality, but these kind of hearing different kind of voices of what she should do, like in her head. And WWE have done a tremendous job of making it seem like she's kind of going crazy a bit, but it's actually a very, very normal and human thing to kind of go through. Is that when you're making a big decision, you've got like different voices kind of telling you differently what to do. So I'm really interested in what Bayley's doing in WWE right now. So if I'm being honest, I think I want to see her stay in WWE and see out what this new character progression is for her, because I'm honestly as interested in Bayley's character as I have been for since she's won the title at WrestleMania 40. Because since then it's kind of gone in a circle a bit. And babyface Bayley hasn't been working, so it needs a bit of a switch up. So personally, although AEW would be a great place for her to land, I'm excited to see what her future looks like in WWE first, and then maybe we can revisit that question. But yeah, right now I'd much prefer she stays in WWE.
I couldn't agree more, Archie, because, yeah, like you said, if you asked me this 4 weeks ago, I would have said, yes, go to AEW,
Yeah.
see how it goes there, because it can't be any worse than this. It is not working. But now suddenly they've done something which has got a lot of people interested, and I want to see how this plays out. So,
Yeah.
no, I want to see how it works out right now in WWE. But what about you, Clark?
I find this whole thing absolutely fascinating because I agree on a lot of what was said about this current heel run or voices run, whatever we want to call it. We're really not sure yet with Bayley. If there's an opportunity, if there's a chance for Bayley to leave and jump ship to AEW, the smartest thing creative can do is book her as a heel here. Because the problem is now, if we put on a great program, this contract expires and she shows up in the logical scenario she should as the answer to a very frustrating Mercedes Moné celebration, likely mid-dance with an entrance, she will be the biggest babyface in the AEW's women division the second she walks through the curtain. And I think it's smart by the WWE to book this now. We're up against it no matter what, and we're all aware of it. We know that. We know what the deal is. It's possible she could leave. It's possible she stays. I like it either way. I think the storyline can go correctly here as a heel in WWE, and I think it can be awesome. And she stays in WWE in this hypothetical scenario that I've presented means nothing. But if we get to that hypothetical scenario, I believe the WWE knows what they're doing on this. And it's funny because it sort of goes back to our last conversation about the way it's been booked. Now she's been presented with a perfect storyline right at the possible precipice of a move, whether it be a lateral move, no matter what you think of the move, we're right on the edge of it. This was smart creatively, and the work has been great. I hate to say this because I would love to pick a side. I could go either way. I believe Bayley is the most underrated of the four horsewomen. At this stage of her career, by far. She's so versatile. She's so different than the other three in every way possible. I absolutely believe Bayley can execute whether she stays or goes. Should she stay or should she go? Not to quote songs and stuff. Doesn't really matter to me because I really believe that Bayley's going to be successful no matter where she is. It'll just be interesting to see how.
The really interesting point that you mentioned there too, because it's about a year and 2 months her deal expires. So I mean, look, she now has a bit of time to see how this goes.
I mean, the thing with Bayley's always for me is, and like I love Bayley. I think you're right. She's one of the most underrated of the most underrated of the 4 horsewomen. But to me, like her heel run and even her second babyface run recently. The problem with Bayley to me is that those characters they just didn't kind of feel real, and I didn't feel like I could get an attachment to them because it didn't I couldn't really translate to her as a character. Like the most real she felt was when she was Hugger Bayley, and even then she was a bit too over the top with the happy-go-lucky stuff. So I think she needs to find that perfect kind of medium of just kind of being real with the fans and being a character that the fans can relate to in a way. And I think this can be it. And she's got a year and 2 months left on her deal. That's a lot of time to see how this character goes and see if it works, and if it doesn't, then she can jump ship. But I've got a lot of hope for this character with Bayley, and I feel like it can maybe push her to new heights in WWE that we haven't seen her in to the point where she's being respected more and being put on posters and stuff like that.
I mean, Donnie makes a good point. Obviously, she's 36, and he says that she wants to start a family. The thing is, that doesn't mean you retire.
No,
that means you can go away for a year and come back. Although I will say, I've just done a quick Google search, and all I can find about it is her shooting that down when a fan's asked her. So I don't know.
No,
but
I mean,
I don't think she's retiring.
I hate how I hate how this is something that's like reported on or like enters the lexicon.
Yeah.
Like whether a woman in her 30s wants to have a family or get pregnant or whatever it may be, I hate that, and it shouldn't affect contract negotiations. It shouldn't affect her future in the business in any way.
And it won't.
We've seen numerous women stars have children and come back and look great, and I would love that for Bayley down the road. But I mean, that feels like reckless speculation.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
she said it in the end of her Van Vliet interview, apparently.
Of course.
You look at someone like Becky Lynch, and she's one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, and she's a great mum as well. So it's I just think that point's a bit mute. She can still start a family and be one of the GOATs in wrestling at the same time. So
we've got in that interview, she said that she's now 35, and she thought originally that would be when she's done, but now she's decided that she's still main eventing at that age, and she's changed her mind on it. So I mean, look, it looks like now she is more open to going longer, and I reckon she will.
I think my minds all the time too.
Yeah. My hot take for considering we're on hot takes, my hot take is that I think Bayley is going to be seen as one of the biggest stars in the women's division in WWE, right? Like she rightfully should. By the time her contract ends, I think this new character is going to be one of the most intriguing and one of the most interesting characters that we'll get in women's wrestling over the next year. I
agree. 100%.
So that's my hot take.
Wow. Okay.
I agree.
All right.